It is Sunday. Yeah, and I was planning to finish it tonight. I'm gonna binge read it. Yes, I've been putting it off. An update came out in a game I was playing. Be quiet. Oh, right. Yes, you're right. I do have a book. Not that one. This one. I do have a book for you. I hope you like it, because I didn't really. So yeah, this book I read in the early beginnings of the school year. It was a book my mom found in Second Charles randomly, because we just find random books most of the time, instead of getting the ones on my never-ending list. And it seemed interesting at the moment, but when I started it in the beginning, I didn't have an interest into it. I wasn't sucked in. But that happens with some books sometimes. So I just kept reading and reading and reading until I got to the end. It did get interesting at times, and like a book does, but I just couldn't get hooked onto it. And I have no idea like what was the reason, because it actually had a pretty good story. I just couldn't get hooked on to the way the author wrote it, I guess. To me, it just felt weird. I do have a summary. It's very short. I shortened it smaller than the actual back summary, I think. And the back summary is small. So, I don't know, but I did write a summary that is similar to that one, but I changed it to fit how I talk, I guess. I don't really know. But I have the summary here, if the computer wants to cooperate with me today. Here we go. Finally. So the summary of the book that I have is: Harley is a college guy with smarts. He hears all kinds of gossip and such about the ballet school in their town. Then Cassandra, one of the dancers, leaps into the picture. The more he is with her and the more she spends at that school, the more he is scared of what might happen to him. But he was too late to realize. So, the way I wrote the summary, it kind of makes it seem interesting. And it might be interesting to some of you if you decide to get it and read it. And I say, why not? Try it. It wouldn't hurt to try and read it if it seems like something you might read. It is a romance mixed with a little horror kind of thing. And you all know about my romance. Like, I love romance. I love romance. And guess what? I'm recording on Valentine's Day. It only makes sense to record a romance, but in this case, it's a romance horror. So, and I think the story was really good. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know how to explain it that well. Ages. So I say 13 and up because it is a romance, a teen romance kind of thing. It talks about drinking, like college parties. I think there was a murder and a suicide. So just take that into consideration if that that makes you uncomfortable and you have an interest in like the way like the story was. Just take that into consideration. There's like parties and they're drinking. And I think there may be cussing here and there. I don't exactly remember. But it is a teen book. It has some teen things and stuff. So, yeah. And also, the rating that I give it. My personal rating for it. I'm here between a 4 and a 5-ish kind of thing out of 10. Because I as I keep saying, I could not get into it. I feel the story was there. It was a really good idea, but I could not get myself into it. It was like something's missing, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I feel like there should have been more to it, maybe. More. Well, there was already a lot of detail, but I feel like it's missing something that pizzazz kind of thing to the story. I'm not hating on the book. It's just I feel like it was missing something. You can read it and you can tell me what you decided. Is it missing something? Is it slow, or did you really enjoy it? Because I feel like the story was actually a really good story idea. Just can't figure out what was missing because I could not get hooked onto it. I had to physically force myself to read it because I wanted to know how it ended so I could decide if it was a book I liked or not. I don't want to do what I used to do and start a book, realize I'm not interested in it, and drop it. I want to finish it, give it a chance, and then come up with my verdict afterwards. And so, how long to read? Well, you all know what I'm going to say, because I keep saying it. A week. That's what I say. Because it's about a 300-page book, so I guess it would take, shorter than that, but also it depends, because this is not just 300 pages, but it's also, the chapters start all the way at the top like this, so it's also kind of more words, because you've seen chapters where, it starts in the middle of the page, and that's what I'm used to. But I've seen different things like that now, and so it starts at the top like that, and so it's got more words and all that, and it does seem longer to me. It might be a short book, but the way you read it, it seems longer than it actually is, because you could read a 500-page book and finish it in maybe 2 or 3 days. And then you could read a 300-page book and it takes you an entire month. That's exaggerating on the month one, but sometimes books do that. And I have no idea why. I cannot figure out the science behind it, but it happens. Because I read a 400-page book in 4 days, which seems reasonable. It does. But also, that is kind of fast. And at the time, I think that's one of the fastest book reads I had in forever. And the ones I had before didn't really count because they're like itty bitty books. I think the fastest book, the fastest I've ever read a book, is an hour. A complete hour, and done. It was like little books like The Magic Tree House and I Survived kind of books. Those take about an hour for me. Just sit and read. It depends on the length. Most of them are really tiny. And so, yeah, that's my record, my best record for that, but also they were tiny, so that I don't think they count for now. But books like this big and these kind of thickness, I read a book in 5 hours, 5 hours, and that was a very large expanse of sea, and that has been my fastest read so far for these kinds of thickness of books and reading level, I guess you could say. So, yeah, I'm gonna say a week. I'm gonna do that. Sometimes I may say a few days. It just depends. I'm saying this. It depends on your reading schedule, your schedule for throughout the days. I really don't know you, I guess, how you do things. I mean, for all I could know, you could be whispering to your books in the corner like a psychopath, crazy person. I don't know why a psychopath would do that. That's the word that popped in my head. If you whisper to your books in the corner, I'm going to have you put into a mental hospital. No offense. But if you're gonna do that, you're like, hey, how you doing? What are you doing today? Yeah, I like potatoes too. Yeah, I like the sound of your pages. They're really nice. If you do that, I'm very sorry, but I'm gonna have to put you in a mental hospital. In a padded room, within a padded room, within a padded room. No hard feelings. So I feel like this was a really short video, and because I didn't really have much on this book, it's a small book though, so I guess makes sense, but I just didn't really have a lot on it because I didn't really like it, and I would go into more depth into it if I had something else I remembered. Yeah, hey. So I did forget something. I forgot to mention the fact, the bookmark. The bookmark, people. How could I forget the bookmark? The bookmark is literally 2 sticky notes back to back, stuck together with footprints, like dancing footprints, I guess is what I would call them. But yeah, I totally forgot the bookmark existed while doing the video. So sorry about that. But I don't at the moment. So that is all for this book. And I would like to announce what I'm doing next week. So next week is the last week before I have to record for a certain series. And I would just like to take a moment to tell you what the next book is. And I think if you liked the Seraphina, you're going to be happy about this, because on Christmas, or around Christmas-ish, Will of the Wood was gotten, was retrieved, and put in this room with the others. And I read Will of the Wood as a borrowed book, and now I own it. And it is a really good book, and I hope you will come next week to learn about it. And it's part in the Seraphina series. So that is all I have for you today. I know this is really short, but thank you for coming and watching this video. I hope that I am helping you find some books to read that I've enjoyed, or I guess not quite enjoyed, because I didn't, yeah. But I hope you do, and I hope you give books a chance instead of giving up on them. And fly you high, Overlanders. Oh, and happy Valentine's Day. Or Singles Appreciation Day. Or what I've decided to call it, Loneliness Awareness Day.